Christmas brought so much joy. Couldn't wait for the presents and laughter. I couldn't sleep late at night, looking for Santa with lights. Those are the memories I still remember. Then I became a man, lost sight of who I am, but right in front of me was the answer. 'Cause on Christmas I feel joy, and I turn back to a boy. The answer is to stay young forever. This is not a Christmas, this is not a Christmas song, this is not a Christmas, this is not a Christmas song, this is not a Christmas, this is not a Christmas song, this is not a Christmas, this is not a Christmas song.
Well, hello, Star Wars fans. You know, they're just 69 days until Christmas 2025. Hello, good to see you. And, my calendar is booking up for this holiday season. We've got our anniversary coming up in a week. Just a heads up on all of that. Just looking forward a little bit. Yesterday, I recorded the rewatch of the Mortis arc, part 1. There are 3 parts to that. We recorded the first part yesterday. Hopefully next Monday, Tuesday, we will record part 2 and part 3 of the rewatch. Wednesday next week, we'll have our regular Zoom call that we do with our supporters. And then Friday, we'll live stream, and I'm headed off to the Upper Peninsula of that state up north, and we're going to take a week off for our anniversary, our 39th wedding anniversary this weekend, or this year. So October 30th, we celebrate 39 years of our marriage. So we'll be gone that last week of October. So no meetings, no live streams, nothing that week. I'll be out. So just to give you all a heads up on all of that. So let's say hello. I see Brandon's here. Remember, please, if you would, hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't already. Yes, please do. It helps the channel out tremendously. You all here in the chat, you guys hanging out with us and interacting with one another lets YouTube know that this is a active channel. Speaking of YouTube, by the way, I've got a gripe. Oh boy, do I have a gripe. We recorded the rewatch on YouTube earlier in the week, and when I recorded it, I had a screen overlay. I had my noggin here was over part of the screen. We had a countdown timer, a count up timer actually, and I was interacting with it all the time. That's typically the definition of fair use. You're reviewing something, you're providing commentary on something, you're adding something to it that's original content. YouTube said, not good enough. And they took it down. They blocked it. They completely bombed it. So no bueno YouTube. So we went back and yesterday I recorded it on a Zoom meeting. We did that with a few of our supporters. Were there on the call with us. Had a great time watching it. We stopped it. We started it. We talked about it. It didn't have to do the overlay and the count timer and all of that because YouTube wasn't there interfering. So I recorded that and then I uploaded it to Patreon. If you're one of our patrons, then you can go to Patreon and you can view that on Patreon now. It's active. It's available for you. Then I also downgraded the quality, compressed it, and then uploaded it to Discord So if you're not following us on Discord, you should, because Discord, we're active there. I'm trying to post things across all the different kind of media, and Discord's a great place to communicate as a community. So make sure you're subscribed to our Discord. And by the way, for our Discord, I uploaded that review. It's not behind a paywall. There's no restriction. Everybody can see it. You just go to the Ahsoka spoilers channel in there, and you'll see it posted right there. If you go to the Ahsoka spoilers, join Discord for free, and there's no restriction. The link to our Discord is in the description of every video that I post, so you can find it right there. Also, if you type !Discord, you'll get the Discord link right here in the chat. If Streamlabs, cooperate. So make sure you're doing that. Then I think that's all the fun things. So thank you for that, Brandon. I appreciate your support here all the time. Fantastic. Thank you so much. And there's Nick. Hey, what's up? What's up with you, Nick? Good to see you. Thanks for stopping here. And the Sabersmith. Hello. Hey. Oh, good to see you, Sabersmith. Yes, YouTube is picky. Uploaded an unboxing, and they got me for the music. Son of a gun. It's just YouTube. They're being hyper sensitive to copyrighted content. Of course, I probably could have gone in and done a fair use claim to try to get them to unblock it, but then you risk all the downstream things that YouTube can do to you if they reject it. So no good. Just avoid YouTube for that kind of content. That's why Patreon is so important for content creators. And I see one of my best friends here who also has fantastic channel, but a great way to support content creators from every aspect is to become a patron. I know YouTube membership is super simple. You're right here, you're viewing me, you're watching, you're like, oh, you know what? This guy's okay. I think I'll give him $1. And you could do that. You can become a member right here for as little as $1 a month. And that unlocks the Zoom meetings for you. That unlocks all the things that we have behind the paywall, so to speak. You get all the members only content for $1 a month. But YouTube takes a bigger portion of those proceeds than Patreon does. I also have $1 a month patron level. So just for $1 a month, you can support on Patreon. Patreon gives us more of that revenue. They're less picky about all this content, and they're not so hyper sensitive on the copyright material. I still did the fair use thing when we did the rewatch of Mortis Arc 1 yesterday. We stopped it. We talked about it. We had a discussion about it. So Patreon's the place to hang out. Patreon's the place to support your favorite content creators. So perhaps you are a big fan of Star Wars Meg, like me, right? A great way to support Star Wars Meg is to join her Patreon. Become a Star Wars Meg patron. So thank you, Meg. She's editing her video right now. Should be out in the next couple of hours. Fantastic, Meg. Thank you so much for being here. Real Ben, hello there. The best way to end the week is hanging out with everyone. Oh, thank you so much, Ben. I really appreciate it. YouTube had a crash the other day. I think it was down for a good 24 hours. Oh my goodness. That's terrible. I don't know if your fans like me anymore, but why would my fans not like you? Holy smokes. Because you don't like the sequels as much as I do. Is that it, Meg? Look, I get it. We have differing tastes, differing opinions, but we're friends. And we like... okay. Meg, You're not toxic for not liking the Acolyte. You're just a fan who doesn't like the Acolyte. That's fair. That's fair. you know, um, the Acolyte to me has many problems, but I don't hate it, right? I mentioned this before. I don't hate it with a white hot hate. Some people do. I don't view it in all negativity. I find the positive out of it. And that tends to just be part of my personality. Part of my character is that I look for the positive in anything. And if there's 2 things positive and 50 things negative, I'll focus on the 2 positive things instead of the 50 negative things. You know, you bring them up, you mention it, like I didn't like those 50 things, they're terrible. They annoy me, make me angry. But you know what I did like? I like those 2 things. Let's talk about those 2 things. That's me. That's what I prefer to spend my life, what's left of it anyway, being positive, trying to bring some joy and happiness to the world. That's this whole Santa Claus thing has just really brought that out of me, even more than it was growing up. I've always been accused of being a bit of a goody two shoes and that kind of thing. That's who I am. Sorry. But Meg, I love you. Thank you so much for being here. We've got a few topics to discuss today. And the first of them being an iconic person associated with Star Wars since the very, very beginning. We have Drew Struzan. Drew, this is from Lucasfilm's website. So appreciate Lucasfilm providing this fantastic narrative about Drew. And it says, we're going to go ahead and read this because I think Drew deserves it. When you picture many of the things associated with Star Wars, you picture in your head Drew Struzan's work. So why not spend a little bit of time recognizing him? This is Drew Struzan, a prolific artist and movie poster illustrator who's been enchanting fans of Star Wars and Indiana Jones. That's why they put this on Lucasfilm, by the way. And Ihadga, hello! Oh, adored the Acolyte. Rewatch it often. Don't have an issue with others not liking it, as long as it's constructive and explained without getting angry. Perfect. Exactly. I don't mind people disagreeing with me as long as they don't take it out on me personally. Right? We can have disagreements. In fact, they can be very constructive and helpful. But yeah. Drew Struzan, Lucasfilm, Indiana Jones, and Star Wars. He has sadly passed away. When one thinks of the iconic movie poster artist, Drew Struzan is the first name that comes to mind. Says the person who shall not be named. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Says Lucasfilm president Kathleen Kennedy. Drew's unforgettable artwork has touched so many hearts throughout the years, and I have been thankful to have worked with him on such films as E.T., Back to the Future, Hook. Remember Hook? Yeah, about Peter Pan, and the Indiana Jones series. His artwork is so imaginative, so beautiful. It elevated the movie-going experience for those films before audiences even stepped foot into a theater, which we got a picture of here. We'll bring up in just a moment of Drew's that illustrates that point perfectly. So Drew's work is timeless and would undoubtedly inspire both artists and film lovers for generations to come. Drew was an artist of the highest order, says Star Wars creator George Lucas. Now, this is a great quote from the maker himself, right? George Lucas himself says, his illustrations fully captured the excitement, tone, and spirit of each of my films, George's. His artwork represented his creativity through a single illustrated image, opened up a world full of life and vivid color. Even at a glance, I was lucky to have worked with him time and time again. There you go, from George Lucas, Kathleen Kennedy, both of them. Just wonderful, wonderful things to say about Drew. Says to many fans, Struzan's movie poster legacy, which spans nearly 5 decades and over 150 films, began with the beloved 1978 re-release poster for A New Hope, which was the artist illustrated alongside Charles White III poster, which has affectionately become known as Star Wars Circus poster. So you can see it here. Showcase Struzan's bold design sense and early 20th century illustration style. A perfect match for adventurous throwback spirit of Star Wars films. So fantastic image here of Luke and Leia crossing that chasm there on the Death Star. And a long time ago in a galaxy far away, right? You got Vader, there's Han, yeah, all the things. Look at it. Look what a wonderful representation of A New Hope. Absolutely fantastic representation. Go down to the painted illustration of Luke and Leia swinging across the Death Star chasm with Struzan's, along with portrayals of Han, Obi-Wan Kenobi in the poster. He said, this is a quote from Struzan, "I kind of fell into doing movies because of my portrait work, since portraits are considered the hardest things among artists." Struzan said in 2004. The striking illustration so impressed George Lucas that Struzan became the go-to artist for many Star Wars and Indiana Jones posters to follow, including an early advance Star Wars Return of the Jedi and the 77 Star Wars Special Edition re-releases, the prequel trilogy, the Indiana Jones features, and even the iconic Magician logo for ILM itself. So you remember, the ILM logo, that Magician, that's Struzan. He's the logo for ILM. Struzan also illustrated countless book covers for Star Wars and Indiana Jones throughout the 90s. Struzan's commercial illustrating career began in early 1970s with record album covers, a format thoroughly enjoyed as a paint by 12 by 12 inch format. Notable works during the early years include covers for the Bee Gees, Black Sabbath, Iron Butterfly, Earth, Wind, and Fire, and most notably Alice Cooper's Welcome to My Nightmare, which Rolling Stone voted among the top 100 album covers of all time. Now, this has to be speaking to Meg very, very dearly. I don't know how many of you know, but Meg comes from a music producing family. She has close ties to her father was involved with producing music for artists, and Meg grew up in that kind of culture and that kind of environment. So it's really, really in her wheelhouse. Right, this is just right in Meg's wheelhouse. So Struzan's movie poster art, however, endeared him to countless movie fans for decades, considered by many to be the gold standard of the trade. Struzan was sought out for some of the most memorable titles of the last 50 years, including Back to the Future, E.T., Blade Runner, The Goonies, Harry Potter and Sorcerer's Stone, Hook, the Muppet movies, and countless others. Artist's remarkable ability to capture not only the spirit of the film, but also create a stunning, inspiring work of art has made him a beloved figure among movie and illustration aficionados. Struzan's career will be remembered not only for his prolific work across decades, multiple films, franchises, but for offering that first exhilarating glimpse of adventure, romance. There's that word. We're not allowed to say romance when we talk about Star Wars. Forbidden, you shall not. I joke. Romance and thrills that await from the storyteller's imagination. He will be missed. Thank you. That's a fantastic, fantastic piece. So here you go. You can see the posters that he did for Phantom Menace. This when you think of Phantom Menace, this is it. It's on the DVD jackets. It's on the old. It's on the old VHS stuff. This is it. Yeah. Don't say romance. Yeah, not allowed. You shall not. Just wanted to give you a shout out and say I hope you had a great week. Good week, friend. Seen all the stuff on social media lately. Hope you have a good weekend. I hope you do too, Meg. She's a dear, dear friend. Good person. She's just a child. She's the age of my youngest daughter. I've got a daughter that's almost 10 years older than Meg. I'm ancient. And Meg's just a little baby. She's growing up. I'm joking. She is young, and she's brilliant, absolutely brilliant. So, Meg, I do hope that you have a fantastic weekend. There's episode 1, episode 2, Attack of the Clones. And you see Hayden and you got Anakin and Padme. There's Yoda hanging out over here. You're as ancient as Snoke. I don't want to be as ancient as Snoke, right? He get cut right in half. Yeah, although I could lose about half of my body weight. Yeah, I don't think that's the way to do it. No, I'm as ancient as Gandalf. Gandalf the Gray, right? Gandalf the White. I'm as ancient as Attack of the Clones. Here we go. The Revenge of the Sith. Sabersmith, one of my favorite bands, Earth, Wind, and Fire. Saw them years ago outside of Amphitheater. One of the best shows I've seen. Fantastic. Fantastic. Revenge of the Sith. You've got Palpatine down here. The big fight between Anakin and Obi-Wan. This is just a great, great poster. See, here's a perfect example. Absolutely perfect example. But Meg couldn't be more wrong. She's wrong, compiled on top of wrong. But I love her, and she's great. And this Attack of the Clones is one of the greatest movies ever. I don't go around calling people negative and toxic for disagreeing. Exactly. Meg has a platform. She could eviscerate me at any moment. Right? She's just such a wise, smart, brilliant Star Wars content creator. I disagreed with her on her premise in yesterday's video. Still just a great video, right? It was a very, very good video, and everything she said in it was mostly right. And this is mostly wrong. But anyway, Spielberg's favorite Star Wars movie, by the way, being this Attack of the Clones. Ben says, like you and me have very different opinions on the sequels. Exactly. Stuff with Kathleen, but that doesn't affect our friendship. That would be dumb. It would be dumb, right? I hope we can agree on Starfighter when it comes out. I'm in love with Mia Goth's villain, and I know nothing about her. I know nothing about her either, man. I hope that we can agree on it as well. I hope that both of us just are glowing with the enjoyment that we get from watching that movie when it releases. Yeah, I hope so. Here we go. Keep going. Look at this. Star Wars, a long time in a galaxy far, far away. So this is the poster we already saw. We come to the first 10 years. Star Wars. A great picture of Luke prominent there with R2 and C-3PO and Falcon. Look, we got Kenobi up there. Here's the one that I used on my thumbnail today. We've got The Empire Strikes Back. What a perfect poster. What a perfect poster. The heroes have been defeated. The Vader and Palpatine have prevailed, and they're featured prominently in the poster. Just absolutely brilliant. And then this is the one I wanted to show you guys, because you see this, it says Revenge of the Jedi. Now, George mentioned how he brought to life things even before they were released, and Kathleen talked about how it got audiences energized for things before they even saw the movie. Drew was given this this title before the movie released, and it was Revenge of the Jedi. That's how it was labeled for a very long time. The title was there for a very, very long time, and it wasn't until very close to release time where George was like, you know what? Revenge doesn't suit the mantra of the Jedi. It's not very Jedi to seek revenge. And that's how it got its name change. But you see, Drew did the poster ahead of time. It's a great poster. And one that most of us have not really seen. because it was never released broadly. Didn't see it hanging up at the theaters because the title changed, right? We get Return of the Jedi, not Revenge of the Jedi. Yeah. There's Return of the Jedi. So we changed it. Now look here. Interesting thing. See Luke and Vader in this clash here. That same element carried over right into Return of the Jedi. Right? He just took the same element, kind of tweaked it a little bit, made it prominent in Return of the Jedi. We get all the major characters around there as well. And then here's your Indiana Jones posters. There's a few of those. Temple of Doom, Last Crusade. Here's another Last Crusade. It's great posters. He's an artist who's been copied. He's an artist who will be imitated for decades to come. Tom Levy said his brother loves a specific character and then asked him to make a movie about him. I'm thinking Kylo Ren's legacy would be part of Starfighter. Interesting. I don't know. Maybe. I saw a Rey poster at the Disney store last week and smiled. Gosh darn it. Santa softened my heart. Aw, Meg, that's very kind of you to say. Did Struzan do the six-pack abs Luke poster? Oh, I know the one you're talking about. I am not certain on that. There was a poster done of Luke Skywalker. Let me see if I can find it. Poster. Let's see if I can find. Oh, here it is. So, if you guys aren't familiar with what he's talking about here, let me get this image. Shoot, I don't want that. See if I can open this image. Here we go. Who did this poster? Let me share my screen again. Here we go. This is the one he's talking about. You see where Luke's got the six-pack abs, Luke and Leia, right there. I don't know who did this poster. I am not sure. It looks very Struzan-like, doesn't it? It has the same elements, the same sort of artistic flair, same sort of artistic elements. I would guess that it's Drew's. If not, he should at least get some credit for the inspiration. I love Star Wars posters. I didn't know what it is. I just love the Indiana Jones posters a little bit more. Yeah, you think back to E.T. The E.T. poster with the bicycle flying in front of the moon there and all of that. He did that as well. Okay. Shall we move on to the next story? I think we should. Let's move to the next story. Got a little bit of a different take than I've heard a lot of people talk about, but let's I know you guys have already seen this. This is not new. Santa's not the first to cover it. This has been covered by every Star Wars content creator at least once, maybe 2 or 3 times, depending on what your mood is. But here you go. Ben says, according to AI, Tom Jung did that poster of Luke. Okay, Tom Jung. But you can still see the Drew Struzan influence on that, right? That's what I mean about the impact he had on the industry as a whole, right? Just his artistic style has been emulated. Many folks have brought up how AI has even picked up on Struzan's artwork and used it in some AI-generated art. You can see the influence of Drew Struzan. So, all right, thank you for that, Ben. Cost of Star Wars, $600 million. Now, a lot of people are super frustrated with this, irate, trying to draw a bunch of energy out of it. Again, I have a little bit different take. First of all, the internet makes everybody an expert on everything, doesn't it? Right? All of a sudden, you're the CFO of a major movie publishing company, and you know the the monetary, what is it, return of investment. You understand all of the financials around movie making, like it's your job. All right. That's how most people report this stuff, is like, this is outrageous. It's unfair. It's look, 600 million. It's a lot. My comment on it is somewhat similar to what Nick over at EBN said. The spending on Hollywood productions, on movie productions across the industry has been just insane. It's been insane. You look at Rise of Skywalker here at 600 million. Look at some of the other movies that have been produced lately. A lot of the live action Star Wars and Marvel, and you go on and on and on. The budgets of these things are just ballooning out of hand. The one thing that the Mandalorian and Grogu has for it is it's less than 200 million. Less than 200 million in the budget. Of course, it'll go over that by the time they add in marketing and all kinds of other nonsense. But still, you're under 200 million in the production costs. Its break-even point at the theater is going to be somewhere around 500 million. I think it's going to make that very, very easily. But we'll see when it comes out. And I had a bit of I don't debate a lot of the finances about Star Wars much, whether you like it or not. I just think Kenobi budget was criminally too low. Well, here's the thing. The budget is what they asked for. It's not like they said, to do this show, the show that we have in mind. Ian McGregor and the executive producers of that series, they weren't like, hey, Kathleen, we really need to do this show right. We need about 400 million. Can you give us 400 million? She goes, no, you'll get 10 million and you'll like it. No, that's not how it worked, right? They asked for what they needed. They did it. And that's the movie. That's the series they made. There could be an argument that they didn't make the series that the character deserved. And that's reflected in the budget. But the budget didn't drive the series. The series drove the budget, right? It's the other way around. So had they wanted to make something more grand, more, grandiose, they could have gotten the budget for that. And there is probably where the heart of the argument is, right? That Kenobi deserved much bigger, more prominent story. And that's not what they did, right? Says, 100% understand they asked for the budget of the show. Why would you ask for that low of an amount? It's just because of the show, right? It's what I just mentioned. Mandalorian movie being cheaper is good because minimum it should be able to break even, provide positive vibes for the community. Yeah, so I was going to go. Meg's video yesterday talked about how Mandalorian season 3 is being erased, being undone, being buried in the sand of Tatooine, like Rey buried Luke's saber. So, Meg, her video yesterday, look, Mandalorian Grogu movie is not a movie that's intended to move the overall story arc forward. It's an adventure, and it's intended to be fun family entertainment. It will draw moviegoers to go see a fun Star Wars movie with spaceships and pew pew and Baby Yoda. That'll get moviegoers in seats. And my point is, hello, Nerf herders. Good to see you, KG. My point is that movie's not intended to tell you what happened with Grand Admiral Thrawn or Ahsoka or what's going on in Mos Eisley, what's going on in you name it, right? That's not the purpose of the movie. It's a fun movie. And the vast majority of movie goers, and I'm careful to say movie goers, not Star Wars fans, just movie goers. The vast majority of them have no clue, never heard of, would be completely confused with who's this blue guy. Grand Admiral Thrawn. Grand Admiral what? Why is he blue? He's a weird looking dude. What's going on with that? The vast majority of fans have no knowledge, no context, no information on that. I'm not saying you need to dumb down movies for the general audience, just saying that this movie's target audience is the general audience. It's not on your hardcore Star Wars fans who want to know what's going on in that side story involving, whatever. That's not what it's about. Where's Bo-Katan? What's going on with Bo-Katan? Where is she? I thought she had the. Wait, no, that's not what the movie's intended to do. So yeah, it's got a smaller budget. I'm just seeing Mando Grogu movie as an intro to normies. Yes. See how it goes after Ahsoka season 2. I reckon there's potential for Thrawn related trilogy, one step at a time. Exactly, KG. One step at a time. This movie is just intended to bring in some revenue, get people, the general audience, moviegoers around the world to come see a fun family adventure. It should be fun. It should be a good movie. And with the budget it has, it should make money, bring in revenue to the coffers, and then we'll get the more detailed stuff. Ahsoka season 2 certainly coming. Then Dave's movie. There will be other movies that come along. There'll be other stories that tie in Bo-Katan and Ahsoka and Grand Admiral Thrawn. All of these characters will come into a movie, just not today. Santa just called you. Did I get that backwards? Wait. Hello. This is what? Okay. You guys are confusing me. Oh my goodness. People don't understand the movie they're looking for is Dave's movie. Yes. They don't realize this is a stepping stone for the general audience. Yes. And I know there's all kind of controversy around different things. The point is to kind of get people involved with what's going on with Din Djarin and Grogu. And I don't want to get too deep into some spoiler stuff. I've already shared most of that here. But yeah, to get the Razor Crest back and they get back to doing what they were doing in season 2, right? So sort of Meg's point is like, well, they're just going back to the end of season 2 instead of season 3 and all this other stuff. It's all good. Yeah, at my age, I have moments. Yes. You guys are great. Look, it's going to be a fun adventure. And what it will do is tie in when we get to Dave's movie. Where did this Razor Crest come from? Well, I thought it got bloated up. No, he's got a new Razor Crest. What's going on here? What's going on there? This will put some of that in context and it'll re-engage Din and Grogu into that. Kind of set it up, right? It does at least seem to deal with some Imperial remnant. Yes, it's going to have little bits of that as well. Okay, let's get back to this, right? Almost $600 million budget or spend, right? Almost $600 million. So $594 million, right? $594 million is what the receipts come in at. Minus, you got to take out, this talks about all kinds of reasons why it got to where it was, but you have $594 million spent, and then the UK reimburses uh, filmmakers for using assets and resources in the UK, which Rise of Skywalker did. And as such, you're responsible to file statements publicly. That's where Forbes got all this information. Because they did that, though, the UK paid them. They gave them some money, right? Let me see if I can get down here to where it talks about how much they got. Here we go. So 594 million is what they spent. The UK gave them 104 million back. They said, thanks for shooting your movie here. We'll give you 104 million. That takes it down to 490 million in cost. Well, 490 million in cost with the approximate amount that they made from the box office, which would have been 538.5 million, leaves them with a net of around 48.6 million. That's a lot of money. It's a lot of money. There's no way around it, right? It's tons and tons of money spent. That budget needs to come down, right? They need to be able to produce these movies at a much more reasonable rate. Mando Grogu is certainly going to do that. What about the movie that Meg brought up earlier? What about Starfighter? What's the budget on it going to end up being when all is said and done? What about Dave's movie when he eventually gets to that? Also, it bears noting that they moved Ahsoka season 2 from the U.S. It was season 1 was shot in Southern California for the most part. Season 2, they moved all of those assets over to the UK, and they're primarily shooting it there. It's tax subsidies, it's reimbursements from the UK. There's financial reasons to be moving this stuff, and there's other political things going on here about the industry. We're not here to talk about all that. It's just Rise of Skywalker ended up not making nearly what it potentially could have had the budget been far more reasonable. You could be mad at Rise of Skywalker, or you could not be mad about Skywalker. I enjoyed it. I like it. You guys know me. I'm a huge sequel trilogy fan, and I'm a happy Star Wars fan. I'm not mad. Rise of Skywalker didn't do everything I personally wanted it to do. It made some decisions that I personally didn't prefer, but it's a movie that generally entertained me and fed me a decent meal of Star Wars. Right? At the end of the day, I felt satisfied. I still go back and rewatch it from time to time. When I'm working here in the basement, I'm doing things, I'm cleaning, I'll turn on the sequels and watch them again and again and again, all the time. I enjoy them. If you don't enjoy them, back to the discussion we had earlier, well, you don't watch it as much, do you? Right? Meg saying Attack of the Clones is the greatest movie ever made. Nonsense, malarkey. Right? I watch it as little as possible. I just don't prefer it. Right? It means things that annoy me. Right? So guess what? I watch Rise of Skywalker more than I watch Attack of the Clones. It's easy. It's really easy. You know, you got your remote control. Watch what you want to watch. You don't have to be mad about it. We're going to talk more about that in another moment here as well. I reckon it'll be a fun quest, but it will touch on things post Return of the Jedi and Imperial Remnants and give some context. I'm not expecting more than a much needed fun ride in the cinema with Mando, Grogu, and company. There you go, Ihadga. Perfect. That's what I wanted to talk about how setting expectations is a very, very important thing. It's one of the issues that the Acolyte, go back to what Meg talked about, not being a fan of the Acolyte. The Acolyte confused its messaging. They said one thing early on, they talked about it involving the Sith and blah, blah, blah. And then later on, Leslie kind of pivoted and talked about other things about this relationship with her sister and it reflecting that. There were different messages going out. And then they also been kind of stepped in some of the press junkets that they did. Got people all kinds of riled up about things that were not the show itself. The less you get affected by your expectations and you accept the story for what is given, the less angry you get about those things, right? If you go into The Acolyte with zero expectations, you don't know anything. You're just like, oh, what is this? And you hit play. There are people who absolutely love The Acolyte. They're huge fans of The Acolyte. I'm not, it's my, just for record, my least favorite live action Star Wars anything, right? It's my least favorite. I don't hate it with a white hot hate. It's got big issues that for me, and I don't hate it. But there are people who love it, and there's Star Wars fans who love it. People who have read the EU, people who have watched all the movies, people who grew up watching Star Wars with their family, with their parents, with their grandparents, people who have been Star Wars fans their entire lives, who watch The Acolyte and love it. Love it. Their favorite of all the favorites. I'm not that guy, but there are people who are. And I don't throw any stones at those who are. It's just not that for me, right? As we go in just with a fresh blank slate and take in Star Wars for what it is, whatever it is, right? The Acolyte, Rise of Skywalker, this upcoming movie, John Levy's Starfighter movie, whatever it is, if we can take it for what it is. There was a great comment on Meg's video from yesterday. I made a little comment on it. One of her viewers responded back to me, Santa, you don't get it. Right? You're a big dummy head. I didn't say that. I'm exaggerating. Right? I said, I'm not a big dummy head. But we went back and forth just a little bit. And one of the comments on there talked about how many hardcore fans, people love to say that word, many fans thought of the EU as canon, adjacent to the movies, canon. And as they watch the new content, and it does not align with all the things they read and video games they played, all the EU content and the new stuff doesn't align to the characters, the story, the events of that expanded universe. It causes them this dissonance, right? It causes dissonance. And therein lies your problem. If you expect something to go a particular direction and it doesn't, then you're going to have that dissonance. So can you change your direction and go with the direction they're taking you, or are you going to fight against it? Right? You're unhappy with going that way, right? I wanted to go to the beach. Why are we going to the desert? This is not the beach. You're like, no, but it's got sand. Like, well, that's not the kind of sand I want. You're like, okay, well, too bad, right? I get it, right? I totally get it. I totally understand. But be it the Acolyte or Rise of Skywalker, Starfighter, Mando Grogu, the more we can come in line with setting our expectations to what they want, tell us, and then judge it off of, is this the kind of story that I enjoy? I'm going to bring that in a moment too. Then we're much better off. And you can still like something or dislike it. That's fine, right? It's perfectly fine. We have tax subsidies in the UK to attract filmmakers from around the world. We do here in Ohio as well. That's why they've shot Superman here. Superman was shot primarily in Ohio, where I live. Some of it north of me, some of it south of me, and I didn't make it to either one during the filming. But yeah, Superman was shot here in Ohio, and they got a lot of tax subsidies from taxpayers like me to make that movie here. Keep us on the movie scene and all of that. Spider-Man 4 was in Glasgow a few months ago. Andor was filmed near me, Aldani. Oh, You're not too far from Darth Elvis then. Darth Elvis isn't too far from there. We got some photos from the set of Andor season 1 there in Scotland, Aldhani base. That damn Darth Elvis went out there and took pictures while he was there. I'm mad at it, and I greatly enjoyed it. Weird spot to be in. Look, I get there too, KG. Yeah, I avoid Attack of the Clones a lot. Me too. Cinematography was so good in all the sequels. Proper, good, great standards in that respect. Yeah, this goes back to the, like, if there's 2 things you like and 50 things you don't like, I spend my time talking about the 2 things I liked. Like, to me, that's a more enjoyable life as a whole, just my life. Because anybody who is affiliated with Star Wars, other than Dave, doesn't know how to talk publicly. Yeah. Leslie and company, the cast, they went out there. Somebody should have given them a course in public speaking to represent your movie to the public, the fandom. Know your audience. Why you see, like, musicians as they go on tour and they get to your town, they're like, "Hello, your town. How do you, and everybody cheers. Woo, he said my town. Yay." Right? You need to know your audience, right? If you were in Columbus, Ohio, and you're like, "Hello, Cleveland." You're like, "What? I'm not in Cleveland. I'm an idiot. What's he taking? He think he's in Cleveland?" Like, right? You need to know your audience. You got a Star Wars audience. You got to speak the Star Wars to them, and you got to do it in a way that gets them excited and they cheer for you. They're happy. Woo! I want to support you. Yeah, all of that. Star Wars fans need a fun movie cinema experience again. Amen. I agree with you 100%. A movie that is just that. For me, Solo was a fun ride. I thought Solo was a fun ride too. It should have been delayed until Christmas. Yeah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. Ben, I'll continue to say it. Canon didn't matter to me back then. It doesn't matter to me now. If it's a good Star Wars story, it's a good Star Wars story. It's that simple, right? Perfect. Canon is just for marketing and business. Yeah, you can get me on another soapbox there. You're right. I don't get into canon discussions very much anymore because for me, Lucasfilm has broken canon several times. Yeah, not only did they break it under Disney, but they broke it under George Lucas as well. George Lucas broke canon several times, right? Because he did what he was going to do. He took things and he changed things and he just flat out did not care, right? And now they have this philosophy of, if 3 people tell the same story, they may have different details in all 3 versions. Neither of those, none. What's the right English? No interpretation of that story is better than another interpretation. None of them is more right than another interpretation. And so if Ahsoka's wearing white and has a great big white cane and, staff, when she goes and meets Sabine and takes her to go get Ezra, and then the next time you do that exact same scene and she's wearing gray and no staff, yeah, who cares? Not important. Neither one of those is more right than the other. Maybe she had a white cane, maybe she didn't. Maybe she was wearing white, maybe she was wearing gray. Doesn't matter. That's their current philosophy. If you can understand that philosophy, you'll go a long way to being less frustrated, because that's what they're going to do. You're going to watch something one time, and it's going to be one way. You're going to watch it the next time, it'll be a different way. One's in animation, one's in live action. One's in a comic, one's in a novel, one's in a movie. Every single one may tell the exact same story with different details. Different color lightsabers, different color robes, different kind of... Doesn't matter. That's their current attitude. just the way it is. Yeah. Why I dismiss the concept of canon. Yes, it's better if you can do that. It's much better if you can just dismiss the concept of canon and take the story for what it is. I agree. Leslie was a little all over the place in acolyte marketing, but she really does have a love and know her Star Wars. I agree. People call her a fake fan, a pretend fan, all the kind of nonsense. They don't know. Leslie's as big a fan as anybody else. She has different sensibilities than you have. So what? Right? Nostalgia for what someone grew up with drives a lot of our hate for current stuff too. You're not wrong, KG. I've talked about it before. It's one of the problems I had when I went and watched the prequels. The nostalgia for what I grew up with the original trilogy as a kid, when I was an adult, was shattered with the prequels. Right? Yay for Superman. Yeah. Dawn, hello, strangers. Good to see you, Dawn. Say hi to your mom and your daughter for me. I only met your one daughter. I know you've got more. But I am that awkward fan that grew up in the times of the OG, the original trilogy, and yet my go-to are the prequels now. How dare you? I thought we were friends. And oh my goodness. And the clones and Rebels and Disney Plus is a variety to view. Yes. Acolyte could have been better. Yeah. I don't doubt Leslie is a fan. I don't know Darth Elvis, but I have been to the location myself a few times. It's at about an hour and a half drive from my home, called Donnie. That's a light speedo in your car. I think Darth Elvis lives a bit further away. I think it's more than 2 hours, maybe 3 hours for him. So you don't live real close together, but you've been to the same place for the same reason. Let's see if I get caught up with the chat here. Cody Gilroy openly talked about why should he follow that cartoon, aka Rebels? Yeah. I mean, he's going to tell his story. It doesn't matter. So why is it just not a big worry for me anymore when it comes to canon? That's why. That's why it's not a big worry for me. Good for you, Ben. This is why Ben and I are friends too. Right? Ben hits me up every now and then on Twitter, sends me DMs and stuff. We have great conversations. And do we agree on everything? No. Come on now. Oh, but we're good people, right? Ben's a good people. He's a good guy. And we have the same sort of philosophy. And whether you like something or don't like it, it's a matter of personal preference and taste. And when you can come to grips with all of these things, life is better. Trust me, life is better. It just is. Extending canon isn't the same as breaking it. Oh, that's true too, KG. That's absolutely true. Andor also gave us a new introduction to K2SO. That's true. It's different from the comics. Some fans use this as a cover story told by the rebellion. I like the attitude and approach. Yeah, it's good. It's good. I want to bring up the other topic before we get into the next part of the Cantina build. But the last topic here, the last main topic, I should say, is publishing. Boy, oh boy, people get worked up about publishing. You would think that Star Wars fans were so engulfed in publishing that it was the number one method that people got their Star Wars content. But I'll tell you, sales prove otherwise. Sales through time, through history. The people who go, the general audience, the moviegoers who are going to see things at the theater, outnumber those who watch things on the TV by tenfold. The people who watch things on the TV versus watching the things that are animated, tenfold. The people who watch the animated over the people who read the stuff, tenfold. You've only got a very small fraction of the fandom who are reading things. And you know what happens? We don't all read the same thing. We don't. My friend Meg, she tried reading the High Republic, and within a very short amount of time, she's like, nah, ain't for me. I read the High Republic. I read every bit of it. I didn't read all the comics because I don't have that access. But I read all the novels. I thought it was good. I thought it was good. They said to say hello. Tasha says she's going to meet you sometime and talk with you. I would love to meet Tasha. That would be great. That would be great. Right? We don't all read the same things. When I was reading the High Republic novels, I remember there was one novel in particular. It was written by Zoraida Cordova. I think that's how you spell her name or pronounce her name. It was a romance novel. It involved a couple of, there were a couple in there who had this kind of on-off again romance growing. They're flirting with each other, dating on and off. Yeah, all that. I read that book and I was like, oh, I don't like this book. I don't care about their romance. It's gross. It's nasty. Yuck. Blah, kissing. Oh, no. I said, who likes that? Not me. Get on with the story already. And they did. Eventually in the story, there were things, right? There were things in that book that were poor to the story. But boy, it was wrapped in a ton of romance that I didn't like. It doesn't, I didn't go and protest. I didn't try to gatekeep the community. Romance has no place in my Star Wars. What was up with these girls in Star Wars? Get them out. Stupid. And look, I'm joking. I know Josh, and I know what he was trying to accomplish in his own way. He's trying to say he doesn't like the direction that Lucasfilm's taken Star Wars lately. He wants to see a return back to the core Star Wars that it was under George Lucas. And all of this publishing stuff is a sign that they're not going that direction. He's unhappy that they're not going that direction. And that's the message he was generally trying to get across in his own way. But boy, he got people worked up. Boy, he got people all kind of worked up. And like then he's blaming them for not getting it. Look, Josh has got two things going for him. One, he just loves being a turd sometimes. Don't we all? I like being a turd sometimes. Just being a turd to be a turd. Fun. Sometimes. Well, you know what? When you act like a turd, people might think that you're a turd. Josh did that. And you know what happened? People think he's a turd. What happens, Josh? When you act like that, people are going to think that's what you are. They don't listen to the details. They're not there listening to your nuance. They see you say something, pretty crazy, and they think this guy's an idiot. People listen to me and they know that I'm an idiot. So, there's that. Yeah, Star Wars Theory even mentioned on his stream. I watched Nerd Theory the other day, but the part of it. I didn't watch all of it. But yeah, I saw that, and Theory's just like, I just won't read it. I don't want to read it. I won't read it. That's fine. It's no big deal. Just a book. That's right. So let's go through here. This first book, I know you guys have already seen, Legacy. I'll tell you what has me excited about this book. And I know that it's sandwiched in the story. So there's only certain things that can happen. I know that. And there's another book that I read. Was it Masters of the Sith? I think that was the name of it. Masters of the Sith. You guys need to correct me if you know what I'm talking about and I'm wrong. It involved a plot to kill Palpatine. Right? They had some Twi'leks that like, we're going to lure him here and we're going to kill him. You're like, good luck with that, buddy. How do you think that's going to go? And then, then Vader shows up and they're like, oh, we'll kill him too. We're going to kill Palpatine and Vader, and won't that be great? And you read the book the whole time going, this ain't going to go well. It's not going to go well. And you're reading the whole book, and guess what happens? Right? Palpatine and Vader don't die. They don't. Not in that book. You know who does? All the other people. Right? So you knew that going in. Right? You're reading it, you're like, well, oh, Yeah. Is it still a fun book to read? Sure. But you already know the outcome. What has me excited about this book specifically is in the description, it says, let's see, where is it? It's up here. Da, 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 da. Oh, this doesn't have the whole. In any event, legacy. Here we go. How Rey and her new master Leia Organa on a quest to mend the storied Skywalker saber, and you can read an exclusive interview about it. Blah blah blah. I'm excited to see Leia's knowledge of the Force. What does she teach Rey? How does she teach her? What does she learn? What does Leia learn about Rey? What's Rey learn about Leia? How do they grow their relationships in such a way that at the end of Rise of Skywalker, Rey takes on the Skywalker name because Luke and Leia are right there. They've been her mentors. They've been her teachers. Her knowledge of everything come from them, and she decided she'd take on that name, right? And with their nod of approval, right? I thought that was interesting. I didn't want her to take the name, but anyway, she did. I'm excited about this novel, learning about, hey, how's it going to go between the two of them? What are they going to teach? What does Leia know? How well does she teach? Does she teach really well? Is she an okay teacher? I want to know. I'm excited to read it. The other book, this is the other one. People are like, rawr. It says, this has romance. It says a Star Wars romance novel. Oh boy. Ashley Poston's writing the first official Star Wars romance novel. Well, I just mentioned there's all kinds. I think Eckhart's Ladder mentioned Lost Stars. I mentioned the book that's in the High Republic. There's a long list of books that have been written, both EU and canon, that are primarily romance, feature romantical relationship, right? There's a long list of them. It's not a first for Star Wars. This one, they say it's the official romance novel. That's what it is, a romance novel. Not necessarily, set in Star Wars. What's the distinction? What's the distinction between Lost Stars and Eyes Like Stars? What's the difference between Eyes Like Stars and the High Republic book by Zoraida Cordova that I mentioned? I don't know what the distinction is, right? What makes one the official first romance versus all the other romance stories that have been told in Star Wars novels, right? I don't know. But anyway, it says it's a young adult novel, features a couple in search of their happily ever after in a galaxy far, far away. The charming young adult romance set about a year and a half before The Force Awakens. So right before episode 7, right? It features all new characters. There's a lot of people thinking, well, that's Luke. Where was it? I think, where was it? I thought Mike Porter said it. Good to see you, Mike. Thanks for dropping in. People were saying this is blonde-haired boy. That's Luke. Redhead girl. Well, that's got to be Mara Jade. This is Luke and Mara Jade. They're telling it in a romance novel. Why are they doing that? Right? No, it's not. They're all new characters. Mysterious artifact and the fearsome First Order. Okay, probably not the book for me. Probably not. I don't see this high on my list of things to pick up. So, I just won't read it. Not because I'm mad, but it's because I'm not a romance novel reader, right? I want to bring up another book here real quick, and then I'll get back to your comments. Many of you know that I've been reading, I'm a huge Rey fan. I'm a huge sequels fan. And I picked up this Audible original right here. Let's see if I can get it to focus. This is the novel. It's Jaws of Jakku, and it features right on the cover Rey and BB-8. Right there, Rey and BB-8. This is like reading the Plagueis novel. You know who barely makes an appearance in this book that has Rey and BB-8 on the cover? Ray and BB-8. It's not about them. It's about this other girl. This is on Jakku. She's grown up on Jakku. She's heard stories of Ray, and there's a story, and she's running and she's hiding. She's doing this. She's doing that. This girl, she's involved in some sort of something, and then every so often she'll say, "Hey, look, there's Ray over there," and then the story moves on. Oh, not with Ray. And you know who else makes an appearance? Right, Finn. Ray and Finn, they make an appearance from time to time in the book, but it's not about them. It's a interesting book, not for canon junkies, not for people who are looking for Star Wars lore. Jaws of Jakku ain't for you. It's probably not for me, but I'm about an hour and a half from finishing it, so I'll let you guys know how that goes. that's that. All right. Star Wars Publishing. Read it if you like it. Don't if you don't. It's that easy. Let me go back here. I see Mike Porter's in the chat. We're going to read a Mike Porter dad joke here in just a moment. See, if the Vader and Emperor got taken out, then I'd have an issue with canon. Canon breaking stuff I don't like. Yeah, could you imagine reading that Lords of the Sith and both of them die before New Hope? Like, oh, they're dead. Never mind. Those daggum Twi'leks ruined it all. They killed them. Could you imagine? Guys, this is silliness, right? Romance creatively means exciting and mysterious and having an effect on your emotions. Example, Luke's dual sunset. Skeleton Crew and Jod, silhouettes arriving on Kim planet. Media literacy is weak. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. Absolutely right. I had you. There's Mike Porter. Later, Vader. After a while, Palpatine. Dawn, Leia and Ray. Yeah, this book I'm looking for. We need a romance book about droids. Maybe L3 could have a romance with. No. My favorite love-related one was A Courtship of Princess Leia. Oh, that is a good book. The Courtship of Princess Leia. That is an interesting story. It's good. What about a book of Babu Frick falling in love? Oh, you know what? He could fall in love with Grogu. Babu Frick and Grogu, they have a romance. No. Jar Jar Binks romance. We saw that. Jar Jar Binks does get a girlfriend. They kiss and everything. Yeah, it happened. I mean, it's real. It happened. The Fricktastic Four needs to happen. I need a Salacious B. Crumb multi-part romance novel. Dan Zellin's in the Mando movie were made somehow. My timeline's backwards. And Zellin's are Star Wars versions of sea monkeys. For this reference, check 70s comic books. You know, that's funny. You know what sea monkeys are, right? They're little shrimps. The Family Frick. Meet the Frickers. There you go. We can have a comedy movie. Palpatine was cloned with a cracker. They call it Salpatine. You work on it. You're close. Like saltines, salpatine. Yeah, I get it. You said my name right. Battle droid voice. I had you. You said. Let's see. Can we have a freaking party? All right, you guys, we're all caught up. I have a Mike Porter dad joke. And what we do is covered the topics of the day. We're going to get into the Cantina build, part 4. We'll get into that in just a moment. Here's just a preview for those of you who want to stick around for that. We've got to put the bar together with the middle part of the bar here with the outer, the backing on there. We're going to do 4 pages today. We're going to cover page 8, 9, 10. We're going to put the top on the bar and 11. We're going to tie all that together. So we're going to put these four pages together. I'm going to bring over right here. You can see Here's that bar piece. And then we've got the top piece here. Right? These are going to go together. Boom, like that. And then we've got the middle here with all the, we've already done this part, right? All of this is already assembled. So we're gonna put all three of these together. We're getting a couple more to tie them in, and that's coming up next. If you stick around, if you we'll talk about this too. If you stick around, I'll continue to read your posts, your comments. We'll talk more Star Wars. You have something else you want to bring up, you want to revisit, you want to talk about more, we could do that in the chat as I go through the rest of the Cantina build here. So the Mike Porter dad joke today, it says, wait, yeah, look, I was looking at the wrong screen. What do you call the droid that's always on the lookout? What do you call the droid that's always on the lookout? Keeping his eye on things. We call him C-Peep-P-O. I almost thought it was PP, right? There's a different way to read that, Mike. You could read C-P-P-O, right? Which is a droid with a bladder problem, right? Or you have the droid that's always on the lookout, C-Peep-P-O, right? It's all about, you know, you put it together. Very good, Mike Porter. Thank you for that. Santa's Workshop Live. Yes, that's coming up next. Is Santa making my Christmas present already? We'll see. Very good, Mike. Good to see you. I hope you had a great lunch with your friends. All right. For those that need to leave, I appreciate you guys being here. Thank you so much. I've enjoyed talking about Star Wars with you guys, and we're going to keep going. Please like, share, let other folks know what we're doing here. I'm just having a fun time talking about Star Wars. And I hope you have enjoyed your visit with us here today as well. Skywalker's Academy is here. Good to see you. I was sleeping, hurting this morning. The engine goes in today. Oh, okay. Very good. Very good. It's been fun. Thank you so much. I really, really appreciate it. A droid with bladder problems. That's not an oil spill. Very good, Mike. Let people know what we're doing. Thank you. I hope you have a fantastic day. Just a beautiful weekend. You guys, I hope you have a great time, and we'll see you next time, right? When you come back. Stick around. We'll put this Cantina build. We'll work on it here together in just a second. And thank you once again. So here we go. We're going to move on. We're going to go back here to the toy close-up. We're going to start putting things together. So first of all, if you haven't been following, the way this works is they've got these boxes. The boxes are numbered. So we need a piece out of box 3. This is 3A right here. And we need the part that's outlined. So I'm going to grab box 3. I've got it sitting right here. Right. So here's box 3. And we just need the one piece over here. That's it. Right. Get this piece. Let's make sure I got the right. Nope, I got the wrong one. I need this piece. I need this piece. It's got these holes here. Right? We need this one. All right. So there's 3A. We got this piece out of here. And so that's the first part. Right. Then it says we need on the other page. We need from box 4, tray E. We need to get this piece and that piece. Right. So here's the first. So we'll get in box 4. Box 4 right here. Here's our Haslab. Box 4. We need E. I couldn't help it. When I first read Mike's joke this morning, he sent it to me, and I opened it. I said, 3PP, PP. I mean, I thought, wait, is this a PP joke? But no, I read it wrong. Peep, P-O. Okay, so there's A, there's B, here's C. You gotta dig down. A, B, C. Here's D down here, all the way to the bottom. We need sheet E. the very, very bottom. Oh, I think we're going to empty this. Right? So this says we need to get this big piece here. And it looks like maybe we leave this one. So we open this. I'm going to take this piece out right here. All right, we just need that. I'm going to peek on the next page before I put this away because I think this wants me to get another piece out. 4E, yeah, we got to get the other one. Right, so we need this little elbow here out of the same one right here. And then sheet E is empty. Right, we have now consumed all of those pieces. I got one less to put back in the box. That over there. And we'll take A, B, C, and D, put them back into the box. So put the box back here. We're going to put this in on top. A, B, C, D, back in box. Set it down. All right. Here we go. That's it. We only need these three pieces, but everything else we put together, they all fit together. So back up. It says, first of all, let's take the round part of the bar here. And I thought about this, you guys. I mentioned this before. If you've been watching this Cantina build at all, you know that a lot of collectors, a lot of people who have bought this Cantina complain about this section of the bar always coming apart because it's only got these small little tabs here to hold it, plus some friction, and it keeps just falling apart. People can't hardly move it without it falling apart. People can't hardly, touch it without it falling apart. You know what we need that would solve this problem? And I don't know if somebody's already done it, but you folks out there with the 3D printers and all of that, we need a base. We need a base that fits under the bar here that has a slot for this to fit down into so that when it rests in that base, the base is providing one more piece of support. So there you go. There you go. All right. So let's get back to the instructions here. The instructions say, take this part of the bar. We got to put this in the middle here. Take this and set it right here in the middle. Right. And then we need the end cap. Now the end cap is going to plug in here and there. And then these pipes all go into these little holes at the top. So this is I've seen people wrestle with this. You got all these little holes here, and all those pipes are going to fit into these holes, right? So as we look at this, I'm going to raise this back up so you guys can see, right? We got a bunch of pipes right there. These pipes go into those holes. So this is kind of what is supposed to be tying it all together. But people are struggling with it because it doesn't quite do the job. All right, so that goes in there, nice and tight. This piece is going to go in here, nice and tight. All right, so there's the bottom. Again, this is still coming apart. See that? This is a struggle. This is a struggle. When does Santa build the stage for the modal nodes? Figuring, Dan. Dadgum you, Matt Risman. You mispronounced something once, and Matt Risman's there to get you. No, I love Matt. He's another good guy. Who's often wrong. I mean, I can find lots of people that say Matt Risman's wrong all the time. There we go. I can find you lots of people say Santa's wrong all the time too, right? So let me just double check where it says these things plug in. So this has these pieces here, and then a double piece goes in there, and a single, and then a double. I don't have what? I'm missing a piece. Something ain't here. What are they talking about? I'm missing See, this goes through here. This is oh, do I have this one in the wrong slot here? I don't know. This doesn't. Let's see. Or did I put it? You know what Santa did? Mrs. Claus knows this because I do it all the time. And if you've been around when I did the X-wing, I did this with the X-wing too. Did it again. I put this piece on backwards right here. Right, so I got to take this off. Oh, lawsy mercy, Brian! I am a knucklehead. So let me see if I can extract this piece there. And then I've got to, this whole thing's, I got to weasel it out of here. Man, this is going to have to come loose. Where can I get this? Here, hold on. Yeah. Oh man. Okay, there we go. This out and turn it around like that. Good golly, Miss Molly. If I would have paid more attention. This is gonna be fun when I do a Lego. Can you imagine when I do a Lego? I ordered my Lego my AT-AT. I ordered it. Let me see here. We've got all kinds of mishap going on now. Okay, so this piece, things have come loose. I've got to get this put back in. I got to get this to go back in there. Okay, there we go. I got those pieces put back. See, where did the base of that go? Got it right there. We got it going on over here. Going on back here. Let's see. This goes back on here. Lawsy mercy. I have made a mess. I have made a mess. Let's see. This goes here. Plugs into the top of there. Okay. This part back here looks like, did I do something? I wasn't sticking out like that before, was it? I think it was turned. We go, no, I think we're good. I just got to have to go back a little bit. See where this piece is sticking out there? I think that's that piece sticking out right there. So I think we're good. All right. Got that all put back together. Anything else fall off? Am I good? I'm good. All right, now look. Haha. That plugs in there. This double plugs in here. And this guy plugs in there. Right. And this double pipe plugs in here. Aha! Eureka! Of course, this came loose because I was wrestling with it. That's what happened. Goodness, I thought this was going to be easy. But Santa, I tell you, if I can put something together backwards, I'll do it. My dad will tell you that. My wife will tell you that. I'm consistent in reading things backwards and assembling things backwards and making a mess. And then be like, hey, why doesn't this fit? I think I told you guys the story when my wife and I were first married. I was putting together a pretty simple, like, it was back in time, it was like a VHS stand where you could, put all your VHS tapes in this cabinet, and the door wouldn't fit. I was like, this door isn't fitting. And I told my wife, I'm going to need to drill at a hole where these screws go so I can get this daggum door to go on this. She said, wait, don't do anything. Hold on a second. And she came over. She turned the door around. And you know what? It lined up perfectly. So, oh my goodness, you would think over 30 plus years that eventually this knucklehead right here would figure out would figure out like, oh, that's not how that goes. This is why Santa has elves, you know. Santa spelled backwards is Atnas. That should be my. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. Yeah. So this is why Santa has elves to make the toys, right? They won't let Santa make the toys because Santa would just make things wrong. All right, I put them together wrong. It'd be terrible. It'd be terrible. Okay, there. I think I got all these now reseated. Everything's where it should be. Next step, is to take this curved pipe that we just got out, and it goes onto the wall. And so there's some holes right along here, and then it's going to plug in to those holes right there. So we take this curved pipe here. Here's the pegs. And I think there's only one way to put this, so I can't mess it up. They try to make it so it's Santa proof, but tell you, give me a chance, I'll mess it up. Okay, there, that went in really easy. That went in really, really easy. Perfect. Those 2 steps. There you go. Right. Oh, now I need to take. Wait a second. Oh, there's a wall segment here. This wall segment is going to plug in, and then this is going to plug into that wall. But that didn't tell me to get that wall segment out. Out of box 1. Hold on. I got box 1 right here. Hey. Is it? Okay. Hold on. That one. Which one is it? This one? Is it this? I see, like, if I turn this one around, it does have these little holes here. No, this isn't right. I'll figure it out later. That's I don't know where that one came from. I'm gonna have to figure out where this came from. I'll look into that later. It didn't tell me to get that out. Is it the other one out of box 3? One down. It is. No. Box 3. See these little holes? It was the other one out of box 3. It goes in right here. Right along the side. Snaps in. And then these pieces snap right in there. Now, just for the record, see, it doesn't say get this one. It says get this one. I got this one. That's the one right there. This one here is the one right here. Where does it say to get that one? They're killing me. Yeah. Bah humbug. There you go. That's a. And why does it have a 1 on it? It's in box 3. I don't know. Anyway, next step. All right, now we take this top, and the top comes down and fits right onto all these pieces here. All right, so that's the next one. Here we go. Here's the top. Let me scooch this over just a little bit so that it's easier to see on the screen here. Right here. There you go. There we go. Just like that. See. Flip this over this way. And it goes right onto the top here. And it looks like, yep. Okay. This is going to fit into these grooves here very nicely. And this gray pipe kind of hanging. There's a little bit of a trick here in getting the gray pipe to seat into its little slot right there. Oh, we got all kinds of stuff going on here. All right. And then this gray pipe needs to go in there. This bronze pipe right there. Looks like I've got another. Something else is not happy. Let's see. Where is it? Spin it around this way. See if I can identify where we're not connecting. Okay. Oh, there we go. Now it's set down. That's set down on there real well. Woo! And then this guy. Yeah, I got to move it so you guys can see. This bronze part here goes right into that hole there. And I saw where you take these pieces here, these bronze fittings, and they go right into these slots right here. There we go. And then right there, get this to fit back into the top of that. Oh boy. Oh boy. I think we're about there. Let's see. Oh, we got this guy's not lined up. Here we go. There we go. Now let's look at the instructions again. Because yeah, you put that. Oh, this, yep, went into there. Then onto these pipes here. Yeah, that's right there. And then this middle part, that part, these two. I think I got it. I think that's it. All of those are connected now. This bottom part of the bar keeps coming apart. As I told you, that's the problem that people are complaining about. We've got now with this last piece, right, that we got out before. We need to, let me spin this back around. Here's the last piece. I'm going to spin this back around this way. All the way. All the way. Almost there. Oof. This daggum bar keeps coming apart. All right. So, last piece. We've got this this bronze, and it's got these fittings here like that. They go through these little pieces here. So you can see this one goes right into this here, and then it's going to plug into the top of this canister. So we're going to put this in here, take it down to that canister, and plug it right into the top of that canister. Right there. Just like that. All right. That's it. So we've got this hooked on. This shows, it says 1 and 2 and what and the what. I think all of this is right. We got 2 canisters here. I'm not sure what this is all about, but got it all. And then this piece here, we just put on. These are attached here. I think we got it. That's it. That is it. So then we're on to the last, we got just a couple more pages to go here, right, to finish this part. 4 more pages. We start to put together the little rooms that go on the side, right? So each of those we're going to start putting together next time, right? But for now, we've got the main part of the cantina put together. Let me see if I can show you guys from a different perspective here. If I can, let me try. I'm going to see if I can. Okay. Oh, second. Let me go back. See if I can. Okay, just a second. I got to look at the Wi-Fi setting here and see if I can get it to. Second. Make sure I got it set up for the right Wi-Fi. Nope, I don't. I need to change my Wi-Fi. We got the wrong one. We get this one here. All right, there we go. Do that, and then I think I gotta go over here, and I gotta launch it over here. Right. And then I can launch this camera on my phone. Waiting for connection. We got it. There we go. There we go. All right. So now I think I can show you guys. I can show you. Let me bring up this other camera. A second. Right here. Here we go. Now you can get a real good view. So we've got the end piece. Here's that brass or the bronze fitting that comes down. All the fittings all fit together up in here. Got all those in, right, all along the way. That's up in there. These are all fit in there. Got all in there, right? So we go around the bar. Here's again, this connector keeps coming loose, but there we go. There we go. Everything's all seated. The end piece of the bar here is going to continue to be an issue until somebody comes up with a nice solution. Like I said, maybe if they build a base, you can put it on. The base would solve the problem. It gets that all of this, the whole thing on, and it would tie it together. So, all right, that's it. I wanted to show you that from the side where you could make it out. Then we'll pick up the next step the next time. And that's going to be it for the day. That's it for today. Thank you all for hanging out so much. I know most of you have already fled, which is fine. It's fine. We're getting all this put together. I hope you have a fantastic weekend. Thank you once again for all your support, for all that you guys do for me. I appreciate you being here. Oh, look who made it. Matt Tween, another guy. I thought this is a great guy. Matt Tween. I'm a big fan. I like what you're doing out there in the world. You're a good dude. You're a good human. Keep doing that. Keep being a good human. For everyone else, thank you so much for being here. And until next time, my friends, Merry Christmas, and may the force be with you always. Bye-bye.